Alright. Let's hop in. Go to slot number 5. Chapter 5 end. Continue. Yes. Let's do it. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. I know it's a translation thing, but like the words ultimate and despair are losing a lot of meaning for me as I go through this. They're really overusing that, and I feel like they need to get themselves a thesaurus. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Mastermind, too. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, I'm alone in the dumpster with Kyoko. Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so what exactly is it that you want me to do now? Wait, why am I still using a controller? This is a keyboard game. That's a very tall dumpster room. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. But, like, you have to piece together why there's a rocket and a tank. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Alright, well, you know, you didn't need to question that one. So much garbage here, I can't believe this place is still inhabitable. And is that an airplane? It's better than super high school level of despair. Imagine hearing that every time they bring it up. Oh yeah, hi. Hi, Cora! Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room? Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right? Yes. Then we should be able to use it on that door. You know, the one that's keeping us locked in here right now, right? Right? Please, use it on that door. Kyoko, we can use your key of doors to open this door, right? Just dragging her over by the wrist.
It's true.
Let's find out. Sorry, I'm trying to get things in like a good spot where I can see everything here. There we go, that works. No, it doesn't work, dang it. There's too many things. It's all stacking up on top of each other. There we go, I'm happy with that. And then, click. It opened! And now we can get out of here. Let's go. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Where we, it's basically like spent all of our nights. It's our native home. Finally, we're finally free, but there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief because the real fight had just begun. I suppose, yeah, we're in a new chapter, right? Like, look at how many times the word ultimate shows up there. You can't use it that many times. It's not a repetitive word. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Also, that's not a tunnel, that's a tower. Man, Kyoko got some legs on her. The ladder was impossibly long, I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. There's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing that kind of work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work's in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So, because we take pride in it.
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Alright. Conscious effort. It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. So that explains... Before I came here, I was looking up info about the school online, and I never saw anything about her. Oh, man, it has been a long time since that. I totally forgot. Because she hit herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you went so far to enter Hope's Peak, was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
No, I wanted to expose the crimes here. I couldn't give two shits about my father. I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to him about.
However,
there is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it? I want to sever all ties with him. Don't... Dude, you had to know that was coming. The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was very talented, had a promising future.
However,
but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for being a scumbag. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him on his scumbag journeys.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. Ah, well, she likes what she does. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. Even if I was below her, I wouldn't be able to see her expression. Just that sweet ass. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative. And more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
but there's one thing I can never forgive.
so...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. You know, because when I tell him in private, everyone else on the outside will get the memo. Telepathically. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that. No, Makoto, shut up. Family's about the ones you choose to make a bond with, not blood.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Thank you! Kyoko! I'm on her level here! Are we connected by heart and soul? No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. I do! Girl's on the right track. So instead, I said nothing. Because I'm a little shit. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. I had abandoned Kyoko hours ago. she just stopped climbing and I didn't look back. Looks like this is it. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're
That's
back.
right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. Somebody blocked it! With more dead bodies. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. You know, back in the school with security cameras everywhere where the dude who tried to kill me, I'm sure will be happy to see me again. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. I never would have gotten out of there without you. Thank you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the MM finds out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So
then let's just get a concrete answer. Hmm?
In other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. She's direct. Wait, that's...
However,
if we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we find out. It's not like we can run away. And as she said that, she pointed at a nearby surveillance camera. You're saying rather than stressing out over it, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the MM is the one that's ensnared. The MM is ensnared. I'm going to start calling him MM now, by the way, because I'm so tired of the word mastermind. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The MM stood exposed during the investigation into Makuro's death. There was a moment when the MM let their guards down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it, and it'll be better for us if we go directly to him before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still super uneasy about this, but sure, I guess. Monokuma should be in the gym. Let's get going. How do you know that? Alright. Let's make it a thing. Oh, my numbers are out of date too. I'll update them on the next stream. Oh god, this is a long way. Maybe if I just teleport there, this will go a little faster. There we go.
Well now.
Hey, 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 hey. Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Were you really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I'll punish you again. And this time, I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. Oh, cool. Thanks for taking me back to assassination.
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? What you talking about, bitch? I lose? Explain yourself. What you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? What are you talking about? That was an alternate reality. It didn't happen.
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Get to the good part.
However...
But there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. The laptop girl. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makuro. You did. Still waiting on the good part.
Listen to
So
me.
executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose. You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well...
No, I can't. Come on, I thought you were gonna have something good for this. What is this, a comedy routine to make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. Now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because...
Makoto really was the killer. He never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to hide and run. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
However...
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence and facts and photographs and, you know, proof? Oh, you silly girl.
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this right now would be extremely displeased.
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. The ratings. Of course, you can just say we're making all this up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. She's good. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
That's what we have
then
to
I
do.
suggest you take my advice. Come on, claws, just slowly shake back into that paw. What is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Okay, so is this... I heard the final trial is long, but I thought there was gonna be stuff leading up to it.
Hey,
That would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the MM have to accept our challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. Time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax. I hate this fucker right now.
in other words...
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory? Please, choke him! Shoot him with a shotty, I don't care if I die!
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
Guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All of them? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain myself!
well, that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
It's true.
Please, stop with the puns. Okay, well good, let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school,
Guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain me excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? I'm as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey.
In a giant joke of bear puns. Before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
Hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Makuro is no exception to that. Huh? It's no exception, then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Makuro is a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but The killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry.
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyways. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with honey and despair. Come on, Makoto, let's go. Alright, so how does this chapter work? Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. Huh. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. Look, she knew you were gonna be fine, alright? And she's literally never been wrong about this whole thing. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. I wonder what's on TV. Thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the MM agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept.
because
It's all because of that one moment the MM let down their guard, like I said. So when was it that the MM let their guard down? I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what he said? He said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah.
Listen.
And what do you think? What did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, hmm? I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable. We don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow, they were able to do it.
in other words,
But think of another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something so difficult. A reason?
so
They had to show the real world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would seem
The MM has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words.
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and to show that off to the world. But why? To prove a point, most likely.
Hey,
The outside world is a name for students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The MM wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, is the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But how? And I don't think that better than is really the best translation for that. Maybe superior to, somehow? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the UD would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
Yeah. That same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness.
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world, the Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the MM simply ignore their rules, this wouldn't have been a game but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the MM couldn't kill any of us themselves. That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me. Great, thanks for reminding me of that. Happened so long ago.
right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Thanks to you. And due to that failure, the MM took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, they had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they had to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all that was still just a hunch, right? A hunch?
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance, because you believed in me, another path opened up. You still haven't answered the hunch question. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
It's... yeah. You are pretty hopelessly average, it's true. I couldn't prove any of it, it was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You got a better poker face than Celeste. Seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? If I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right.
However,
We can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. If we can't defeat the MM, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option but win. No, but before the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who the real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind, and also figure out who actually killed Mukuro? For real, though. Somebody killed her. Work together with everyone.
However,
Is that really possible?
anyway,
Right now we have to go find the
Shall
others.
we
See,
go?
she knows. She knows. Kyoko always knows. She knows when you are sleeping, she knows when you're awake, and she knows about all the times you've secretly wanked it under the covers. She doesn't judge, but she knows. Although, hold up. First, I have to spend the money that I got in the last trial. I might get a chance to hang out with friends again. And if so, I gotta make sure that I get into Kyoko's skirt. It's gotta happen. I will be her best friend. God, 19 coins. It's so much. Maybe I should be less worried about not getting repeats and more just like, yo, just give me things, please. Give me a large plethora of things. And maybe one of those will, like, just happen to be an item that'll work with me. I got an achievement. Hey, big spender. Cool. What's that? That's a pen. That's for Toko. I have not once ever hung out with Toko or Byakuya. No, wait, I did hang with Toko once. I've never hung with Byakuya. %69% still isn't that bad of a chance of a repeat, honestly. That's like every fourth one with one coin, I'm likely... Yeah, actually, the ratio's still better to do it one at a time this way than to spend 19 hoping to not get a repeat. My math was way off when I was originally setting this stuff up. Like, until this repeat chance gets itself down to 5, it's more efficient to do it this way. And doubling the amount only... Hold on. Yeah, doubling the amount only takes it down by 1%. I'm getting myself lost in these numbers right now just to sort of talk myself through the fact that I'm putting these in one at a time. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I should go get the trial underway in case it really is as long as I've heard, and in case I'm gonna be here all goddamn night. But you know what? I think I'm just going to put in a couple more of these things before I go running off. Okay, come on. I'm just gonna put in more than one at a time now. Like, small batches.